Multimedia reaction from the Democratic National Committee to Judge Kavanaugh's nomination to the Supreme Court tonight. DNC Chair Tom Perez says, quote, Judge Kavanaugh should not be allowed anywhere near our nation's highest bench. Ian Millhiser joins us now, senior fellow at the Center for American Progress. Do you share that sentiment?
Well, I think I said to you while we were talking before, this was a pick your poison situation, and the strychnine is delicious.
You wouldn't be happy with any of the four?
No, I mean, they were not people that I would want to see on the Supreme Court. I think with Kavanaugh, like, the one good thing I could say about him is we're likely to have a more honest conversation that we would have had, because he has such a thick record. He has a record on abortion, he has a record on birth control, on the environment, even on net neutrality, like issues you don't think of as judicial issues, he has a record. And so no one's going to be able to pretend he isn't what he is. I mean, he's very clearly a very conservative judge who has reached conservative results in a lot of cases. I'm not going to like that. Other people watching this might, but we're not going to be able to pretend that he's anything other than what he is.
Well, and of course, I've heard from some who are very conservative, who are concerned about Judge Kavanaugh. They're not happy. He wasn't going to be their pick. Let's talk about one of his decisions on Obamacare that he's taking a little heat from the far right for. This from the Federalist article about it. It says, even as he avoided a definitive ruling on the merits of the case, Kavanaugh revealed himself as favorably disposed to the mandate. Worst of all, in doing so, he cultivated a theory that ultimately led Chief Justice John Roberts to uphold the mandate. Conservatives might argue amongst themselves about which is worse, an unelected judge opining on how a mandate to purchase a product could meet constitutional muster, or that same unelected judge giving Congress instructions on how to ensure it will. A lot of folks think that he's going to be in the Roberts mold, maybe even the Kennedy mold.
So, I mean, I disagree, I guess, with some of the factual claims there. Like, I think that Kavanaugh said that you couldn't challenge the Affordable Care Act because of something called the Tax Anti-Injunction Act, and Roberts wrote, I mean, it was a 9-0 opinion saying that the Tax Anti-Injunction Act did not apply, so they reached very different conclusions. I mean, I was at that oral argument when he heard the case, and Kavanaugh's concern at the oral argument was, he said, if you take out this ability to have private-public partnerships, which is what the Affordable Care Act is, it's the federal government subsidizing the purchase of private insurance, then you can't do things like privatize Social Security. So I think that he was thinking in terms of the broad conservative agenda that he had tried to advance in the Bush administration. He was thinking in terms of, if I hand down a decision in this case, is it going to have adverse consequences that I'm not going to like in other cases? And I don't think you can read into that he was necessarily being a liberal or a conservative, so much as he was trying to think more broadly than I think some other judges
is your message tonight to conservatives, you should be happy this guy is not scary for you, and to the left, he's as bad as we feared he would be?
He is as bad as I am not in love with this. I mean, he is the fifth vote to overrule Roe v. Wade.
You think?
Absolutely. I mean, he said that Roe v. Wade was, I can't remember the exact words that he used. I think he said that it was a freewheeling decision.
Well, you know that there are people on both sides of the aisle who think it's not the best, most well-written or well-reasoned decision.
I mean, I think that there's different ways you could have gotten to the result in Roe v. Wade, but he was very critical of it. He wrote a decision that I thought was aggressive, involving undocumented immigrants who were being held and who wanted to have an abortion. And he said that the government could physically hold them, temporarily, but could physically restrain them to prevent them from getting an abortion. So, if
we're going to leave it there.
Okay.
But clearly that is something that, and there are even conservatives who are worried about the way that he wrote that as well. Plenty to dig through. Come back this summer, because we're going to go all through his record, and we'll watch.
We'll have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we will. All right, thanks. We'll be right back.
Do you need the most trusted battery in your smart lock? Maybe not. Maybe you could trust you